All right, so I'm gonna go to the process branch, but instead of typing it there, I'll just pick it off there. And then I'm gonna use Python to generate the codes. But since we're going for a code machine to where we just get random codes, I'm gonna use Google for that. So if I go to Google and say codes, I'll just randomly get them, but I want them in a JSON file because I'm abstracting them from the server on the website. I don't want just to dump the text in there. So I'm going to use JSON. So I'm going to grab this JSON file and I'll pick just random codes. I can grab a whole bunch of things, but it was just fun to see this. Where you have the quotation here, like Kevin or Albans Einstein on line 3. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value, which is what I'm doing, trying to give value to people. And if you do this, you can do this for images, videos, whatever. But it's the process that matters. So I'm going to grab this file and then I'm just going to make a text file out of it, and then I'm going to read it and then I'll process it. That's why I named the branch process. But I'm going to abstract everything out. So I'm going to put this in a further code process. And in the process folder, I'm going to just dump in the text that I just copied there. And the text I'll just paste it out there. And then I'm going to jump into the process folder. And I'll just start processing stuff in there. The first thing is that I'm going to go into the ppm environment. That's for Python thing. So that it abstracts everything. I'm a big believer in abstraction so that I don't interfere with anything else happening. Whatever process is happening, it's going to happen in a cocoon. Okay, so the ppm is starting up. And while that's starting up, I'm now going to create another file. It's called I'll just call it a QPython file. That's where I'm going to run the script that's going to process the whole script and stuff. And the first thing is I'm going to open the file I just saved. I'm going to open it up. And I'll just give it a variable name called file because I'm opening. The name file can be any name. And then I'm going to print that file name just to make sure it's actually opening up. And I'm going to run the script. But since I'm using Python, I'm going to run the Python script. And as you can tell, it's coming through there. Right, so, but I need to actually start reading the lines in there, right? But I'm going to use a loop. I'll start looping through all the lines using a for loop. And then I'm going to just give it another variable name, which is a line. And then I'll just print the lines out just to make sure it's working. And then if I run the script again, see the lines are now being read into the computer, so everything is working perfectly. But as you can see, there's a open brackets, quotation marks, but I want to strip all that out. So what am I going to do? I'm going to reuse the variable name line, but I'm going to strip the open. I'll replace it with just nothing. Since these are double quotation marks, I'm going to use single quotation marks for that. So open brackets, that I'm going to replace it with nothing. And I repeat the same process to do the closing quotation marks. Right. And then I'm just going to do the same thing and print out the line just to make sure that it's still working. And oh, I did not replace it with nothing there. Okay. As you can tell, uh, the open and the closing quotation marks are gone. But what I'm going for is some like a JSON object, which is going to have like an author here with a name and quotes here, the blah, 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 whatever. So I'm trying to recreate that. So I've got these lines and also the lines also of the spaces in there, which are gonna have all the weird lines in there. Let me show you. Like if I split it up on where you have this, like you have the code here and then the person who did it, but I can split it up and I'm gonna show you what you're gonna see. I split it up on that as section where you have opening, closing quotation mark, and then comma, space, open quotation marks. And then if I ran the same script again, you're going to see something else. Obviously, I introduced in some junk in there, which I need to take up. All right, now you see this has been split into a list of arrays, which seems that we're going back to where we started, but actually we're making a progress. But there's all this weird backslash stuff. But before I do that, I can just strip all the spaces and the tabs, all that stuff. If I run the script again, then see, oh, that stuff is gone. But at this point, obviously, I'm gonna do a lot more work here. But before that, I don't want to leave that just like adding on to it. I'm just gonna put that into a function, and then I'm gonna call the function just a clean. I just call it clean line, and then I'll put in the line in there, and it should do the same thing. And in Python, to do a function, you call it a def. I'll just return a clean the line, but just repeating whatever was in there, right? But since I'm calling it here and I've defined it there, so everything should work the same. If I run that, okay, so that's working perfectly. Right, now since I've got that, and earlier, like I told you, I was trying to go for that object, but in order to have the object, but I'm going to have like a list of quotation marks with the objects having the author and the codes. So I'll just start a collection with an empty, like I'll just start an empty collection. And then I'll just start putting things in that collection. And here, every time we've got a line, which is like the quotation marks and the author here, I just put it in the collection, and the collection is going to have the whole of like a collection of objects with author and quotes. So here I'm going to say collection, and then I'm going to append it. That's putting things in that collection. Call it append. But what I want to append in there is something. Yeah, the quotation marks first and the author, but I'm going to reverse that. I'll start with the author first. And as you can tell, the author is the second person. So I'll say line. And then I also say the quote. and that's going to run the whole thing, right? But I don't want to push everything on the screen like that. I'm just going to choose a random quotation marks. And as you can see, the second quotation mark is Albert Einstein. But this is zero index, so to grab that, I'm going to go for the second indexed thing. And then if I printed the second thing in there, it should be Albert Einstein. If that works, we should see that. And you see the author Albert Einstein quotation mark there, and I'm only choosing one quotation mark, but obviously if the third thing popped up like that, that means we have a whole collection of stuff. And now we're going to grab everything we have in the text file, refine it, and dump it into a JSON file so that we can be able to use it in a website or server or whatever. So I'm going to open up another file, which I'm going to call again. I'll call it just a JSON file, but I'll still use the same queue. But since this time we're trying to like grab and write into it, I'll say write, and I'll give it just a variable name called a JSON file. And then I'm going to dump that JSON collection object into this file. So I'll need to use the JSON class, and then I'll dump it line by line. It's going to do the magic. And then I'll dump this into, so first I'll dump the collection into this JSON file. And then we know we don't have it yet. But if you look at the left-hand side, it's gonna be good. Take a look here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, the processor. But if I run the script, see what happens there. Bingo. See that? That shows up there. Okay, it's empty now because with open, it did do its part, but the JSON, we don't have it there yet. So I need to import that. It actually comes with Python. And then I can repeat the same process, doing it over and over again. And then if I run it, and then I open the JSON file, all the stuff here does now be dumped into this file. But if you look at this file, there's a lot of like number of weird stuff. And if you say life event, obviously that's a semi, again, quotation marks. But since we're just going for like bam, 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 if I don't know what that means, we just copy that, go to Google, and just paste it in Google, and then we can say Unicode characters. So obviously Unicode character, I know that, so that's right, single quotation mark. So if you see 19 and then you see maybe 18 somewhere. Okay, whatever. So I need to replace that with a quotation mark, right? So I'll just go back there, but before I split this, because it's every line, because if I split it, I'm going to make a tuple or something like that. So I have to do it before. I'm going to say replace. But if you're going to replace a Unicode character in Python, you have to use a U. And then I'm going to replace that Unicode character with said right quotation marks. In Google, it said right single. But since we're replacing single, then we're going to use double quotation marks to encapsulate that single quotation marks. And then let's run the script again. Right, so easy, that one is gone. But we have now like that one, which is 14. So I'll go through the same process of copying where that is. I don't have to worry about what it is. I'll just Google it, and that one calls you a dash. I also know that there is a 13. Okay, we have 18. 18 is also like right, left, right. 19, 18. And I think there's 13 somewhere here. So I'll just start repeating that process again. So I know 19 is that. I'm going to make 18. And I also know that this 13 and 14, those are dashes. I know that. So I'll kind of like repeat the same process here. Thirteen and 14. And it's gonna dash same as 14. And then if I run the script, I do really. Okay, so all those stuff are going, but there's 14 there. I didn't change 14. Yeah, like I said, 13, 14. Okay, so we know that's working anyway. There'll be one more thing I need to do, which is if you look in the JSON file, there's the D and the C. So what does that mean? So the D and the C probably means double quotation mark, but let's confirm it. Yeah, so the C and the D means double quotation marks. So to 1C, which I've already copied to 1C. And so I'll just put it in front there. And I'll replace it with double quotation marks. But since we're doing double quotation mark, I'll have to replace that with single quotation. And then if I run the script, should have cleaned up everything. Oh yeah. Yeah, everything is gone. And then you can see backslash means actually I want the quotation marks instead of abstracting the script. All right, so we are done. So I'm on the process. So I'm gonna now like add everything there. And then I'm gonna commit all that. Then I'm gonna push all that. but I'm gonna put it into the process branch. And if I went to there we go. So yeah. Oh yeah, bingo. And then I'm just gonna push it to the master so I can use it for the next process. See you in creating the server and using this. You can make the quotations by just typing the stuff, but I was just trying to use Python to actually process a whole bunch of stuff, which you can do this for 1,000,000 quotation marks in the world. Like every quotation marks you can do, you can just literally like make the script using that, or you can type it out, but using the script is better. See you in creation of the server, which you can do with, I can continue with Python using Flask, Django, whatever, or C#, but I'm gonna move on to Node.js to create the server. See you there.